MMA pros have issued fresh warnings to Jack Della Maddalena ahead of his upcoming fight with Islam Makhachev. Gilbert Burns shared his thoughts on Islam's potential move to welterweight, saying he supports the idea and believes 170 lbs suits Islam better since cutting down to 155 has always been difficult. Burns explained that Makhachev has already proven himself as the top pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and that a fight against Jack Della Maddalena would be much closer than most people expect. He mentioned that Jack has been preparing with top names like Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones, gaining valuable experience and insight. Burns admitted he hasn't studied the matchup deeply, but believes it will be a very competitive fight.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot.
These guys are working really hard, Burns said. Islam has been open about wanting to move up to 170. He's a big guy, and making 155 kills him. This is the right division for him. He tweeted right after his fight that he wouldn't vacate the title, and then he did. Maybe that was part of the negotiation. Who knows? I like that he's moving up. I favor Jack, though. I think it's closer than people realize, especially with Jack Della Maddalena training alongside Volkanovski and Craig Jones, who helped figure out Islam's game during that first Volk fight. They'll have plenty of info, film study, and answers. This fight is much closer than people think. I really like it. I haven't had time to dig into every detail yet, but I believe JDM has a real shot.
I think Della is going to get it done. I feel from talking to Tim and also seeing Della, and also I've only sparred Della once, like not really hard crazy, but and I didn't try and take him down at all, but I've seen him at your gym sparring, and his scrambles are crazy.
Yeah, he's good.
Even watching him with Bilal as well, and Gilbert Burns, his scrambles are crazy, and I feel Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because when he puts some things on him, he's like, I'm standing with this guy, I have to take him down. And then he tries, gets him down, and he gets back up, or he couldn't get him down, because he's a big dude. People don't realize how big Della is as well, and he's solid. So I really
dense, man, just dense.
Dense, yeah. Like when I felt, like I said, we're sparring, and then it's just a weight behind it, and the way he throws it, the body banging, man. Good.
On the other hand, Israel Adesanya said he's confident that Jack Della Maddalena has what it takes to beat Islam Makhachev. He pointed to Jack's size, strength, and constant movement, saying Jack's aggressive pressure and stand-up exchanges could wear Islam down, especially if Islam's takedown attempts fail to land consistently.
Who wins, Jack or Islam?
It's such a tough one to talk about. Islam is phenomenal. He's good everywhere. Size matters. When you're talking about an extra 15 pounds, when you look at the size of Volkanovski versus Jack Della Maddalena, there's a big size discrepancy. And Volk gave him a good fight. And then Dustin Poirier, it wasn't absolutely completely dominant by Islam. It was a tough fight. Size is going to play a huge part. Even on the ground, I feel like Jack could get it done with just some clean boxing and good takedown defense. But I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what Islam does and going out there and just looks like the phenomenal mixed martial artist he is.
Ian Gary admitted that predicting the outcome is tough. He praised Islam's complete skill set, but noted that moving to a higher weight division always adds uncertainty. Gary highlighted that Jack Della Maddalena is naturally bigger than Alexander Volkanovski, yet still carries elite takedown defense and top-tier striking, two factors that could cause real problems for Islam, even as the favorite.
Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want, and it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So, Islam is a whole different animal than the Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, the weight is not super big for him either. So he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Javier Mendez, Islam's longtime coach, gave his take on the matchup. He said it's hard to say whether Jack Della Maddalena will be the tougher challenge, but made it clear that Islam wants the fight and is fully prepared for it. Mendez praised Islam's work ethic, calling him a world-class athlete who operates on a completely different level than anyone Jack has faced. He added that fighting at welterweight fits Islam well. He'll no longer be undersized and will compete as a true powerhouse in the division.
Philip, bro, what's cracking, man?
Chilling.
Hey, now listen, you're welterweight. You've been in the game a long time. Islam moving up to 170. Is he big enough for 170?
My personal opinion, I don't think he is, but he's a champ. We'll see when he's there. You know what I'm saying? He has a fight. He's fighting the champ. That's the best 170 in the world right now, right? So We'll see.
So you don't think he has the size, but how do you think he does in a fight versus JDM?
I personally think JDM beats him. I think JDM will be able to get up if he does take him down. I don't think he'll be able to take JDM shots. Right. I think personally he'll stop at Islam.
Philip Rowe expressed total confidence in Jack Della Maddalena, saying he believes Jack will defeat Islam Makhachev. Rowe argued that Islam doesn't have the frame to handle naturally bigger welterweights and that Jack's punching power and ability to recover quickly from takedowns will overwhelm him. He predicted that Jack would finish the fight before it ever reached the judges.
Clean. Okay, so the talking has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's going to take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that. We're no longer going to get Ilya versus Islam Makhachev just now.
Henry Cejudo predicted that Islam Makhachev would defeat Jack Della Maddalena and become a two-division UFC champion, calling it the natural next step in his career. Meanwhile, Kamaru Usman voiced his support for Jack, praising his calmness and confidence. Usman said Jack has the right skill set to defend his welterweight belt successfully. Both agreed that the fight will likely happen in October in Abu Dhabi, meaning Islam's rumored fight with Ilia Topuria will be postponed for now.
Yeah, it's so hard because you never know when people are changing weight classes. But in lightweight, Islam looks like unbeatable. It's just like maybe the pound for pound best. It's just so insanely good. But can he do it in a weight class above? I'm not sure. Really, really hard to predict a fight like that. I think I still have to say Islam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. We need to see a few more fights with Jack. It looked amazing against Bilal, but I don't know, man. It's something about Islam is just so good.
Jack Hermansson took a more cautious approach. He said that moving up a weight class always raises questions, noting that Islam has been almost unbeatable at lightweight and might be the current pound-for-pound number one. Hermansson said he doubts Islam will dominate as easily at welterweight, though he still gives him a slight edge. He also praised Jack's win over Bilal Muhammad, but added that he'd like to see Jack face more challenges before placing him among the elite of the division.
No, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Bilal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Stephen Thompson discussed the potential challenges Islam Makhachev might face at welterweight. He noted that while Islam has a solid frame, many welterweights cut down from 205 lbs or more, making strength and size critical factors. Thompson pointed out that even though Jack might have a small height advantage, the real test will be handling the physical nature of the division. He recognized Islam's outstanding grappling, but reminded everyone that Jack has already faced top wrestlers like Belal Muhammad. While Thompson said it won't be an easy fight for Islam, he's very interested in seeing it happen and hopes the UFC books it soon.
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Belal struggled with. Belal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works very well.
Craig Jones predicted that Islam Makhachev will be facing one of his toughest tests yet. He recalled Islam's first fight with Alexander Volkanovski, which revealed some vulnerabilities in scrambles against elite opponents. Jones explained that Jack Della Maddalena adds even more unpredictability, with his unorthodox grappling and ability to break grips in creative ways. He went on to praise Jack's inventiveness, saying it makes him much harder to prepare for than someone like Belal Muhammad, who tends to follow a rigid strategy. Jones also noted that Jack's size could surprise opponents, and he expects the fight to lean toward an exciting, stand-up heavy battle, exactly the kind of fight the UFC would love to promote. What do you think about this potential showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena? Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on the biggest fights and UFC matchups happening around the world.